Welcome to the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week, live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Southern Heights, or back to Star Mill Park here for the suspended baseball game from last night's rain. And it looks like we're okay, Coach Wickline. We didn't bring anything with us tonight. And so Rick Ash along with Brian Allen. Brian, you good?
I was just unwinding my cord.
Okay, all righty. All right, so we're in the, I'll let you decipher what you were writing there because I can't read it. So we started the ball game in the top of the first inning, and Eastern got 2 runs. Southern did not score in the bottom of the first inning, so we're here at the top of the second. Tell us about how Eastern got those 2 runs.
Oh, Eastern batted 8 in the top of the first inning, and they led off with the first 2 men reaching. First on a 5-pitch walk to Ethan Edwards, and then a hit batsman to Aiden Wilhelm. So first and second, nobody out. Following a fly out and a strikeout, it looked like Brandon Laudermill had a chance to get out of it with no runs coming across. But Rowan Gilmore had the big 2-out, 2 RBI single to left field, and that plated 2 runs. And as mentioned, the Eagles batted 8 in the inning. They scored 2 runs. And for the Tornadoes, they went down in order 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the first inning. So that takes us to the top of the second. And I'm curious to see what the pitching matchup will look like tonight.
I asked Coach Stewart. He said there was no changes in the lineup.
So
and Brandon Laudermill on the mound for Southern.
Yeah.
Ethan Edwards on the mound for the Eastern Eagles.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Robin Fowler pregame show. She's your local State Farm agent. Thank you, Robin, for bringing us the pregame and postgame. Robin Fowler, thank you so much. So, Brian, we also want to thank Home National Bank. They have just opened their new branch in Ravenswood, or close to it anyway. And then also Racine, Syracuse, and Middleport. So I want to thank John and Randy for all they do helping us bring you listeners and watchers this year high school baseball and softball. And we've got some softball coming up for you tomorrow night. Brian and I will be at Meigs High School. Southern at Meigs. That should be a great matchup, Brian. And then next Monday we'll have Eastern and Southern girls playing tonight. If they both win, which they are both heavily favored, then on the 19th, we'll be bringing you. That will be the Southern girls, I believe, or Eastern girls on the 19th and the 20th. I'll put it that way. I thought I had it written down here, but now I don't see it. Anyway, on the 19th and 20th next week, next Monday and Tuesday, we'll have Eastern girls and Southern girls. If they both win, then on that Thursday, we will have a doubleheader, 4 o'clock Southern or Eastern, and the 6 o'clock Southern Eastern. I can't remember what order that's going to be in. And like I said, I had it all written down, and now I don't see it. But anyway, 19th, 20th, and then that Thursday, the 22nd, down at Rio Grande. So that'll be an interesting week. The following week will be the baseball district tournament. So that's kind of how we line things up. Girls district, bypassing the first round games. And then we'll pick up girls districts next week, and then the boys district the final week. So we got a good lineup of area games for you, and so happy to bring those to you. So stepping in is the 9-hole hitter, Lance Hensler. He's the left fielder. Where's number 3? And for your play-by-play tonight, here's Brian Allen.
So it'll be 9-1-2 for the Eagles. That's Lance Hensler getting his first at-bat of the contest, and then back to Ethan Edwards, followed by Aiden Wilhelm. First pitch taken high for ball 1. As mentioned, Brandon Laudermill on the hill for the Tornadoes. Griffin Thomas behind the plate. Hunter Jarrell at third. Landon Smith at short. Wyatt Smith at second. Will Smith at first base as his second pitch in for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Lance Hensler.
We don't want to jinx things, Brian, but it is a beautiful afternoon.
It is very nice, yes. Very nice night for baseball.
After 3 tries with Wahama, Meigs, and now Eastern last night, 0 for 3, but I think we got one in. We'll get one in tonight.
Strike right over the heart of the plate. Now 3-1 the count to Lance Hensler. Around the outfield for the Tornadoes, it'll be Anthony Hubrey in left, Zach Thomas in center, Carson Ryder in right field. This one put into play. Hard shot to Landon Smith at short. Throw over to Will Smith in time for the out. So 6-3 on the put out. Laudermill gets the first out here in the top of the second. Now we go back to the top of the order. Ethan Edwards. Ethan Edwards walked on 5 pitches to lead off the game. He later came around to score the first run of 2 for the Eagles in the first inning. This first pitch high and tight, taken for ball 1. Saw this a little bit last night, Rick, in that first inning. Brandon Laudermill just trying to get his control in order. As this one also high and inside. Now 2-0 the count.
I believe Southern Girls tonight hosting South Gallia, I believe.
Yes, South Gallia.
And the boys play South Gallia also. Coming up on the 22nd, I believe.
Belted into center field. Zach Thomas with the running catch.
Yeah, nice grab there by Zach.
Fly out 8 and 2 quick outs here for Brandon Laudermill and the Tornadoes. Aiden Wilhelm, the batter. Aiden Wilhelm was hit by a pitch, the first pitch of the at-bat, and he later came around to score the second run for the Eagles. Nobody out, or nobody on, 2 out here in the top of the second inning. First pitch taken for a strike. Fouled back.
Hey, Laudermill's fastball, as it was last night.
A lot of pop.
Lots of pop
Yeah.
to the mid of Griffin Thomas. Rowan Gilmore, a nice job of that base hit in the left field last night to drive in the 2 runs. But Laudermill can be very dangerous here if he continues to throw strikes.
High and tight. 1-2. And this is a check swing. Wyatt Smith settles under it from second base. So pop out 4, and that'll do it for the Eagles. They go down in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. The score remains 2-0 Eagles over Tornadoes here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
This Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week is made possible by the generosity of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, RE 2171. We thank them for their incredible support of local youth sports. You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
All right, we are back here at Star Mill Park. The completion of last night's suspended ball game after 1 inning of play, Eastern led it by a score of 2-0. And here in the top of the second inning, Laudermill retires them 8-9-1, I believe. Or 9-1-2.
9-1-2, yep, got them in order. And now the Tornadoes will have 4, 5, 6. That would be Will Smith, Brandon Laudermill, and Hunter Jarrell up to bat with Anthony Hubrey, should anybody reach.
And we would like to say that the Eastern Portsmouth Clay game, it has been moved to Meigs High School. If you happen to be listening or watching us and wonder where that game went, it's at Meigs High School, as they got a lot of rain out the Tepper's Plains way, and in the Eastern field, unplayable. So I got a message from Coach Alt, said the game's been moved to Meigs High School. We'll be there tomorrow night, Southern at Meigs. That should be a dandy.
And here we go, Ethan Edwards. First pitch swing and a miss by Will Smith. 0-1 the count to Will Smith here in the bottom of the second inning, 2-0. Eagles leading the Tornadoes. Here's a pitch from Edwards, taken high, evens the count at 1-1. Will Smith playing first base tonight. His first at bat of the contest, all inside. 2-1 for the Eagles. Ethan Edwards on the mound. Caleb Abner behind the plate. As Edwards working very quickly. Curveball, low and outside. Now 3-1. Count to Will Smith. Bottom of the second inning. Eagles leading 2-0. Belted into left field. And boy, Lance Hensler barely had to move.
Was he playing him exactly right? I want you to look
Perfect.
at all the field to the left of him for our view. Anywhere else but there, and that's a solid base hit, but Lance was playing him perfectly and hold that one in, as you said, Brian, with barely moving.
Fly out 7 on the put out. Brandon Laudermilk gets his first at bat, takes the first pitch for strike 1. For the Eagles, it's Alex Collins at third, Brady Rockhold at short, Aiden Wilhelm at second, Rowan Gilmore at first. This one popped up.
Nice curveball there by Edwards and an easy out by Brady Rockhold at shortstop.
Pop out 6 around the outfield for the Eagles. Hensler in left, Hunter Needs in center, and Lane Atha in right field. And Ethan Edwards with 2 quick outs. Hunter Jarrell now the batter.
Hunter, I believe, playing third base tonight.
Yes. First pitch taken for a ball. Outside, ball 2.
Nice ball game brought to you by Home National Bank with offices Ravenwood, Racine, Syracuse, and Milliport, and the Fraternal Order of Eagles.
And it's going to be a base hit. Right straight back up the middle. Hunter Jarrell, I should say, with a base hit.
I want to thank the Eagles. That's Aries 2171 there in Pomeroy. Thank you so much for your support of high school baseball and softball here in the Bend area.
2 outs, single by Hunter Jarrell. He'll lead off of first base. Anthony Hoobrey, the batter. In the 7 hole. Landon Smith on deck. Should Hoobrey reach? First pitch taken for strike 1. And this one belted into right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Everybody moves. So now the Tornadoes with something going here with 2 outs.
And if you remember yesterday, Brian, that's when Rowan Gilmore got his 2 RBI, both with those runs scored with 2 outs.
Landon Smith, the batter, playing shortstop tonight for the Tornadoes. With Wyatt Smith on deck, and then it would be the top of the order with Zach Thomas. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Curveball outside. Want to know the count to Landon Smith.
And remember, Will Smith had a line drive right at Hensler for the first out. He hit the ball hard.
Yeah, the Tornadoes have had some hard hit shots here in the second inning. 2-0 the count now to Smith.
Well, you knew something was going to happen. That was a real big delay because Ethan works really, really quickly. Right. And when he delayed that much, you knew it wasn't coming home.
And there's a strike right over the plate. 2-1 the count to Landon Smith.
That's a nice location, outside part of the plate, knee high. That's your pitcher's pitch.
It's a 2-1 pitch taken low. Now 3-1. And Ethan Edwards in danger of loading the bases here. This one put into play. Ethan Edwards over. He's going to make the throw to Gilmore at first, and that'll do it. So that goes 1-3 on the put out. So for the Tornadoes, no runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the top of the 3rd inning. Still 2-0. Eagles over Tornadoes here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
This Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week is made possible by the generosity of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, RE 2171. We thank them for their incredible support of local youth sports. Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up. You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Alrighty, welcome back to Star Mill Park as we go into the bottom of the second inning. And here's, for the play-by-play, here's Brian Allen.
It'll be 3-4-5 for the Eagles as the first pitch from Laudermill taken outside. Alex Collins, Caleb Abner, Rowan Gilmore. We are in the top of the third inning. And this one knocked back. Foul, evens the count at 1-1.
Brian, one of the oddities in radio, as I've been doing this for a lot of years, you normally never meet your board operator. George Faubel shows up behind me. That's our first time we've met. I don't know how many, what, George, 3 years we've done this together, and we've never met. And so.
A hot shot to Landon Smith, takes it on the bounce. Nice throw to first base for the putout, 6-3. That was a nice play.
So welcome to George Faubel to our broadcast tent here tonight at Star Mill Park. Any trouble finding this, George?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit, huh? Most people go to the high school, but the field's here at beautiful Star Mill Park.
Abner, the batter, strikeout victim in the first, takes the first pitch for strike one. Caleb Abner followed by Rowan Gilmore. Here in the top of the third inning, Eagles leading 2-0. Fouled away. And the count even at 1-1
Southern Girls hosting Southgate tonight in round one, and we'll pick them up next week after this. They win here this evening. We'll pick them up next. Can't remember if it's Monday or Tuesday, but one of those 2 days. And the Eagles Monday or Tuesday also if they win tonight at Meigs High School as they play Portsmouth Clay.
Belted in the left field, and that is a foul ball. Shoo, very close.
A really great young umpire behind the plate tonight, Preston Truax. He's worked a lot of football games with at the junior high and JV level, and that's what we need. New blood into the umpiring. I've kind of wore myself out from fast pitch softball. I'm kind of retired, but here's one of our young ones here. Does just a fabulous job.
2-2, fouled back. Count remains 2-2. You notice when it heads to left field and hits the grass, the chalk line has been, really
rained out
from last night. Yeah, so that's a tough call right there when it hits the grass out there. This one put into place. Smith's going to get it on the high hop off the grass. Throw to first, a little high. And so that will go E6.
Well, if you saw what happened, that ball came off the grass and took a big high hop that he wasn't expecting. And then the throw kind of mirrored that hop a little bit too high. So here comes Rowan Gilmore, who has been hot this spring. Every game that we've called, he's hit the ball very, very well.
Rowan Gilmore, 2 RBI with the single in the first inning, giving the Eagles this 2-0 lead. And now he bats with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the third. He's going to pop this one.
That ball's traveling.
God, it is moving, and it's going to go off the wall. I thought it was a pop-up, and it just kept carrying. And so that'll be second and third on the double. I thought that was going to be a routine out.
I think that surprised everybody. If you look at the wind, it's about 20-mile-an-hour wind out to left. That looked like a medium pop-up, and Rowan put a charge into that one that we didn't see, and it kept going all the way to the fence. And the Eagles now have runners at second and third. So Rowan Gilmore continues to swing that hot bat.
1 out. Brady Rockhold, the batter. Rockhold with a single in the first. He was later stranded at second. Takes the first pitch for strike one. Hunter Needs on deck. Lane Atha in the hole for the Eagles. This one popped up into left field, and it is indeed going to drop. as it was in that no man's land between left field and shortstop Landon Smith. And Caleb Abner will come in to score to make it 3-0.
It was just a perfect place to hit the baseball. Shortstop going, third baseman going back, shortstop, left fielder coming in, and hits between them. And nothing, absolutely nothing, the Tornado defense could do on that one.
Gilmore stays at second. Rockhold leads off at first with the RBI single. Hunter Needs, the batter, takes the first pitch for a ball. Needs with a walk in the first inning, was stranded at first. Ball high. Now 2-0. Lane Atha on deck. Lance Hensler in the hole for the Eagles. As the Eagles just continue to hit the ball. Very strong offense in the area, and it is now a 3-0 count to Needs. And all this with 2 outs.
As they did in the first inning.
Yes, over the plate for strike 1. 3-1 the count. Or excuse me, all of this with 1 out, I should say. Still just 1 out in the inning, and this is ball 4. And that would be the 3rd walk by Laudermill in the contest. First of the inning, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out. Lane Atha, the batter. Atha grounded out to end the first inning. And so now Atha batting with 1 out, bases loaded, leading 3-0 are the Eagles. Here's the pitch. Popped up, and this is foul, and it will bounce on the ground harmlessly for strike 1. And so that was another one just kind of a little bit too far as Anthony Hubry came in charging hard, but could not quite get there in foul ground. And so we'll try it again. Bases loaded, 1 out. Eagles leading 3-0. Lane Atha, the batter. Lance Hensler on deck. Inside. Count even at 1-1.
I did locate the girls softball for next week if both teams advance. It's Eastern on Monday night, Southern on Tuesday night. Both games at 6 o'clock at the University of Rio Grande.
Okay. All right, 1-2 now the count to Atha. Laudermill delivers. Strike 3 called. As maybe a late call. It did look like it was over the plate. Maybe it was on the borderline.
Too close to take.
But,
and
I agree, too
from
close to take, yes.
The mechanics for baseball and softball, they do want you to delay on that call. They want you to delay on every call, even the calls at first base on the bases. They want a slight delay, which he did perfectly right there, and then make the call.
All right, second strikeout of the game for Brandon Laudermill. Lance Hensler, the batter. Hensler led off the second inning with a ground out, 6-3. And he puts a charge into this one. And it's going to hit in between of center and left field. And that's going to plate 3 runs.
And that ball carried very, very well once again.
A bases clearing double for Lance Hensler.
You can see the flag out there, Brian, straight to left field. And that ball definitely continued to drift.
Rowan Gilmore makes it 4-0. Brady Rockhold makes it 5-0. Hunter Needs makes it 6-0. And now Lance Hensler at second with 2 outs. Yeah, it should be 6-0. And now Ethan Edwards, the batter, going to hit it to Smith at short. Makes the throw to first in time.
Well, it looked like he might have pulled his foot a little early, but the call was out.
6-3 on the put out, and that will end the inning. So for the Eagles, they're going to score 4 runs off of 3 hits. They do leave 1, and we'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Eagles leading 6-0 here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up. You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week, live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
And welcome back. Here we go into the bottom of the third inning for the Tornadoes. It will be 9-1-2. Wyatt Smith, Zach Thomas, Carson Ryder. Eagles leading 6-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. As this Eastern baseball squad has put together a fine season. They've already clinched the Hawking division of the TVC conference outright, and looking to continue their hot play into tournament action next week. And they lead 6-0, and the Tornadoes will try to climb their way back into it. They'll start with Wyatt Smith getting his first at bat of the contest. Ethan Edwards shakes off the first call. Now he's ready from the windup. Here's the pitch put into play. It's a slow roller to third base, throw over, and in time. Nice play, 5-3 on the putout as Alex Collins came up hard and made a nice strong throw over to first base for the out. Wyatt Smith hustling, made it close. Now the top of the order, Zach Thomas, who struck out in the first inning.
And we've got the boys draw we'll talk about here in just a little bit, Brian.
Batting left-handed, takes the first pitch high for ball one. 1-0 the count to Zach Thomas. Struck out on a full count in the first inning. Second pitch high for ball two. Now 2-0. This one's over the plate. Now 2-1 the count. Carson Ryder on deck for the Tornadoes. Griffin Thomas in the hole. And the pitch to Thomas. Ball outside. Now 3-1 the count. Edwards delivers. And this one belted into left field. And Lance Sensler settles in. Another one where he barely had to move, as he just has these positionings down. Fly out 7, and Carson Ryder now the batter with 2 outs in the inning. Carson Ryder popped up back to the pitcher Edwards in the first inning. Here's the first pitch. He's going to put this in play and takes a high hop. Collins with the throw over in time. Again, 5-3. Alex Collins with 2 putouts in the inning. And for the Tornadoes, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. Eagles leading 6-0 here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
This Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week is made possible by the generosity of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, RE 2171. We thank them for their incredible support of local youth sports.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week, live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
All right, welcome back to Star Mill Park. We're here in the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd, and it's 6-0 Eastern. We do want to congratulate the Meigs softball team, head coach Colin Roush last night At home, they defeated West Union by a score of 15-0. Notice they played that game while we were sitting here watching. Of course, we had the Thunder and Lightning. They probably did not.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Meigs. They win that ball game by a score of 15-0. The boys draw on 5/22 South Guy at Southern. Now, we will not be covering that game. We should be at the University of Rio Grande, hopefully calling a doubleheader with Eastern and Southern. One playing at 4, one playing at 6. The University of Rio Grande and district finals play, but a lot of action to happen before that occurs, but it very well may happen.
Laudermill on the mound, pitching to Aiden Wilhelm. First pitch in there for a strike. Second pitch high, evens the count at 1-1. Wilhelm hit by a pitch in the first, later came around to score, and also popped out to the second baseman to end the second inning, as he's going to pop this one up again to the second baseman. Wyatt Smith settles in under it. Pop out 4 and 1 out here in the top of the fourth inning. Eastern leading 6-0. Alex Collins the batter. Collins 0 for 2. Flying out to center fielder Zach Thomas and grounding out to shortstop Landon Smith. Strike one. Call.
I just got a message from Coach Roush at Meigs after this pitch.
Strike two.
And they waited that game. They waited it out and started at 8 o'clock.
Started at 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my.
They just waited it out because there wasn't any rain.
Well, we
after
talked
that.
about that, that it would eventually go away, but it was just, as you mentioned, a waiting game.
West Union's quite a drive and tournament play.
Yeah.
Waited out, and they did, and they got it in. 15-0 Meigs. Congratulations, Lady Marauders.
Yeah, I'm sure that they did not want to get on the bus and go home and come back again the next day. Count even now at 2-2 on the high pitch to Alex Collins. Yeah, that definitely plays a part when you think about the distance teams travel and such. Ball outside, and the count is full. 3-2 to Alex Collins. As Laudermill tries to keep the Tornadoes in this one. One out here in the top of the fourth inning. Eastern leading 6-0. Put in play, and it stays fair. That's going to end up being a base hit. As Laudermill thought that it had hit the chalk, and it was close, but it just took a bounce back into fair ground, and so that goes for an infield single. Borderline play there, very, very close, bang, bang. Alex Collins on first now with one out. Caleb Abner the batter. He struck out in the first, reached via error in the third, and later came around to score. Takes the first pitch for strike one. Nice curveball that broke over the plate. Started inside, broke over the plate. And here's the 0-1 pitch, fouled off.
Eastern, the number 1 seed in the district tournament. They play on 5/29, and they play the winner of Adina Belpre at South Point, the South Point baseball facility. So quite a little drive there instead of going to the VA. And they do play at the VA if they win that game. So the Eagles win one game back to Paint Stadium. I believe that's would be a district championship game also. They're all district, no sectionals anymore.
Yeah. Couple throws over to first base. Nothing too close there for Alex Collins. Not with a big lead.
With the 7 divisions now, they've just eliminated the sectional play.
Swing and a miss, and the strikeout is recorded. Third strikeout of the game for Brandon Laudermill. And Rowan Gilmore, the batter. Rowan Gilmore is 2 for 2 with a single, a double, 2 RBI, and a run scored. So very productive first 2 at-bats for Gilmore. He's got a runner on first base with 2 outs. Here in the top of the fourth inning, Eagles leading 6-0. Time called by Gilmore. Brady Rockhold on deck. Hunter Needs in the hole for the Eagles. And here we go. Rowan Gilmore ready. Laudermill with the pitch. Outside. Taken for ball 1. And Gilmore has just been on fire with the bat here in the last handful of weeks. Just seems like every time Eastern has a big hit, he's involved. Runner takes off, swung through, and he's out. And, boy, they're going to call safe.
I think he might have I think the throw was just a little short. Shortstop came up one step and picked it up. I don't think he got the tag on him.
Okay.
Even though the ball did get there, I think he stepped up and created a spacing where he couldn't reach him.
All right. I guess I was quick on the draw there.
There's no argument from anybody, so we did not have the best angle. But that's what appeared to me happen.
1-2 the count now to Rowan Gilmore after the strike. Runner on second base with 2 outs. Gilmore calls time again.
Usually you don't see them giving more than 1 timeout per at-bat to a batter.
Loudermilk ready. Checks the runner from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Oh, and a beautiful curveball right over the plate. 4th strikeout of the game, 2nd of the inning for Loudermilk. And just like that, the Eagles go down. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Score remains 6-0 Eagles over the Tornadoes here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week, live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
And we're back. Here we go for the bottom of the 4th inning. For the Tornadoes, 3-4-5 the batters. Griffin Thomas, Will Smith, Brandon Loudermilk. And the Tornadoes trying to get on the board here. Good opportunity here with the heart of the order coming up to bat. Ethan Edwards thus far pitching a beautiful game. He's given up 2 hits through 3 innings. This one put into play on the first pitch. And the out recorded 5-3. As again, Alex Collins, he's made a couple of nice plays on some short hops.
He came across the infield and took that one. Fielded it in front of Brady Rocco, which he needed to do, and just made a really nice play.
Will Smith, the batter, from the cleanup spot. Smith is 0 for 1. Flew out to left fielder Lance Hensler. He hit the ball really well, tagged it, but right at Hensler. Strike the call, 1-1 the count.
Curveball that catches the outside part of the plate.
Both pitchers with some nice off-speed action tonight. As this one on the fastball, a little high. 2-1. Will Smith ready. Ethan Edwards from the windup with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. Now 2-2 the count with Loudermilk on deck for the Tornadoes. Eastern leading 6-0. And he's going to swing at a curveball that just moved away from the bat. Strike out.
Yeah, another good pitch.
And that is the 2nd strikeout of the game for Will Smith, or for Ethan Edwards, I should say.
Shelby White on our infield camera tonight. Wyatt Martin is our engineer here this evening.
First pitch to Loudermilk over the plate for strike 1. Loudermilk popped up to the shortstop, Brady Rockhold, in the 2nd. Puts this one in play. Edwards is going to put the throw to first base for the out, 1-3. And again, the Tornadoes go down in order. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning. Eagles holding on to that 6-0 lead here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
This Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week is made possible by the generosity of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, RE 2171. We thank them for their incredible support of local youth sports.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week, live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
Okay, on to the top of the 5th inning. We're just rolling right along through this one, Rick.
Well, we had one inning out of the way last night. I do have these. If Eastern and Southern do win tonight, girls softball, we'll have Eastern at on Monday the 19th at 6 o'clock, and then Southern the following day on the 20th at 6 o'clock. Both those teams win, they'll move into the respective championships of their brackets, and it would be Eastern at 4 o'clock and Southern at 6 o'clock.
At Rio Grande.
At the University of Rio Grande.
Yes. Now that's a night, good little, nice little trip down the highway.
Then the following week, we'll be covering the boys' district tournament games.
So a lot of good games, good venues coming up. You get to get out and see some different places, and it's a lot of fun. First pitch to Brady Rockhold, swing and a miss for strike one. Rockhold is 2 for 2, 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. And he belts this one into left field. Hubry is heading back and over the head. He can't make the catch. And heading into second with the double is Rockhold to lead it off.
Another long blast to deep left field for the Eagles.
And these balls just carry. They hit up in the air and they just.
The flag is, the wind is not as much as it was. The flag's basically hanging straight down now.
Yeah.
So that was all his power there on that one.
So a leadoff double for Brady Rockhold. He's 3 for 3 now, and Hunter Needs will bat. Hunter Needs with 2 walks and a run scored.
Eagles are the #1 seed in the district, which would be the district semifinal. They'll play the winner of Adina and Belpre at South Point on 5/29 at 4 o'clock.
And attempting to bunt, but not able to get it down. Needs will take strike one.
Top of the 5th inning here at Star Mill Park. As of yet, no rain.
0-1 the count to
Unless
Needs.
George brought it from Rutland.
Takes it high for ball one. Evens the count at 1-1. I think we're safe tonight, Rick. I think we're safe.
Okay, yeah, it's west of us. George just handed me the radar. I think we're going to be okay.
Swing and a miss for strike two. 1-2 the count to Brady Rockhold. Or excuse me, 1-2 the count to Hunter Needs, and he takes strike three. That pitch looked like it was there. 5th strikeout for Brandon Laudermelt.
And you got to know the umpire's strike zone. He's calling one up around the rib cage, which that was always my strike zone.
That one looked like a strike.
Rib cage to the top of the knees, and you got to be swinging.
Good. It was a good-looking pitch.
Yep.
Lane 8th of the batter, 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Runner on second base now with 1 out. This pitch outside, taken for ball one to Lane 8th.
And the strike zone has been very consistent. Very consistent. 6-0 Eastern over the Tornadoes here at Star Mill Park.
Pitch over the plate. Evens the count at 1-1. Lance Hensler on deck for the Eagles. Ethan Edwards in the hole. Lane 8th looking to drive that runner home from second. Fouled off. Now 1-2 the count. And fouled off yet again. Count remains 1-2.
Southern girls playing on the softball field. They're playing in their district semi, I believe it would be, or district quarterfinal maybe. Anyway, they're playing South Gallia.
Taking that. 2-2 the count to Lane Ethan. Yeah, I guess it would be the district quarterfinal.
Yeah, once you get to Rio Grande, that first game on Monday that the two teams will play. Those are semifinal games.
This one's going to drop in center field and moving over to third base.
I'll tell you, that's a nice strong throw by Zach Thomas into third base.
Brady Rockhold moves up on that single to center. That was kind of a one where Rockhold couldn't really take off because you thought Thomas might have a play on the ball, so he had to wait. And then, as you mentioned, a nice strong throw by Thomas to the third baseman, Hunter Gerald, made that a reasonably close play. Runners on first and third now with just one out, and Lance Hensler, the batter. Hensler with a bases clearing 3 RBI double in the third inning. That really broke this game open. He bats now with 2 runners on. And they're going to steal second base. The throw gets away to third. And so Rockhold will score.
As the throw goes into left field. I think they had him off the base if the throw would have been there, I believe. But it gets loose into left field, and nothing Hubre could do except track it down and get it back into the infield.
So now 7-0. Runner on second, still 1 out. Ball fouled back. We're at 1-1. The count to Hensler now.
Now Southern, the boys also play South Gallia on 5/22.
Yeah.
And then they would go to Logan High School, then to Paint Stadium. So I'm not sure. I guess it's because of the different divisions. Paint Stadium can't handle that many, all those divisions there.
Nice pitch on the outside corner for strike 3, 6th strikeout of the game for Brandon Laudermill. And now with 2 outs, Ethan Edwards will bat. Eastern with 1 run in this inning. They lead 7-0. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Runner on second base with 2 outs, and it's a hot shot past third base. And here he comes digging to score, Lane Atha, and heading into second base with a stand-up double is Ethan Edwards.
Yeah, the left fielder Hubre had a little trouble picking it up, bobbled it a couple times. Nothing he could do there, but it did allow the batter runner to advance to second base.
8-0 with Atha scoring, and now again a runner on second base, still 2 outs, and Aiden Wilhelm, the batter. Wilhelm hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first inning. Runner on second with 2 outs. Fouled off.
And Brian, this is a big at-bat for the Eastern Eagles because the batter here, Wilhelm, I believe it is, represents what could be the winning run.
Yeah.
They would make it, if he would score, make it 10-0.
Ball outside, evens the count at 1-1.
Southern, of course, trying to extend this ball game and try to get back into it.
1-1 the count to Wilhelm. Now 2-1.
We're here at Star Mill Park in Racine.
Strike over the plate. Now 2-2 to Wilhelm. Alex Collins on deck. Caleb Abner in the hole for the Eagles. 2-2 the count to Wilhelm with 2 outs. Runner on second base. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout, number 7. And that ends the threat for the Eagles. They score 2 runs off of 3 hits, 1 left on base, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-0 Eagles over Tornadoes on Total Media Sports YouTube.
been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. For the Tornadoes, 6, 7, 8. Hunter Jarrell, Anthony Hubry, Landon Smith, Wyatt Smith in the 9-hole should anybody reach. Eastern leading 8-0. And Eastern looking to...
Let's look at the boys' draw while we're waiting here.
Yeah.
520, number 13, Piketon at Meigs. There's a possibility that Hayden Milliken will do a live stream of that ball game. If Meigs wins, they'll play Lynchburg Clay. I believe that's the number 1 seed at Paint Stadium at 4 o'clock a week later on the 27th. Eastern will play on the 29th against the winner of Adena and Belpre. That'll be at the South Point baseball facility. If they win that ball game, 5:31 to Paint Stadium in the district championship. And then South Guy at Southern on the 5:22, and the winner to 5:28 at 4:30 at Logan High School.
Put into play to the shortstop. Rockhold over to Gilmore. 6-3 on the putout.
And then 5:31 to Paint Stadium. So Paint Stadium is hosting all the district championship games, it appears, for the boys. And, of course, our girls' teams here, Southern and Eastern, will be at Rio Grande. Meigs would go to the Ohio University field.
First pitch comes over the plate. Nice looking curveball that broke back over the plate for strike 1 to Hubray. He's going to pop this one up. Gilmore looks like he's got a chance at it, and he will make the catch. Pop out 3, and Landon Smith, the batter. Boy, Ethan Edwards just doing a great job at keeping his pitch count low. A lot of early swings and quick outs. This one popped up and out of play. Strike 1 to Landon Smith. Wyatt Smith on deck. Should Landon Smith reach? Edwards will deliver. Curveball again breaks over. That curveball has just been deadly today, as it looks like it's coming inside of those right-handed batters and then breaks right back over the plate. And there it is again, a swing and a miss, strikeout. 3rd strikeout of the contest for Ethan Edwards. Tornadoes go down in order. And we will head to the top of the 6th inning. Score remains 8-0. Eagles over the Tornadoes here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
This Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week is made possible by the generosity of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, RE 2171. We thank them for their incredible support of local youth sports. Crank it up with the Pure Rock Radio Network, your home for classic rock that really rocks. Tune in to Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5 for the greatest hits, local sports action, and your favorite morning crew, Porter's Place, featuring Rodney Porterhouse Tomlin, comedian Jay Snide, and the HR chick, Tanya Hatton. From Bobcats football and basketball to unbeatable giveaways, we've got your back. Pure Rock Radio Network, where local voices meet legendary rock. Pure Rock 105 and Pure Rock 99.5. Turn it up. You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
All right, welcome back to Star Mill Park. Rick Ash along with Brian Allen. And in our broadcast tent, George Faubel, my world-famous board operator. You've heard me mention George's name a ton. And for the first time, we meet tonight. All right, Brian, we've been talking about the Southern Eastern girls. Do have the Meigs girls, of course, won 15-0 over West Union. Their next game will be 5:19 at 6 o'clock at Ohio University. So that'll be their next contest. Tomorrow night, you don't want to miss this one. Southern at Meigs. Girls softball here on Total Media YouTube Sports. And Brian and I will be there, and Hayden and, or Hayden, not Hayden, Wyatt. Sorry about that, Wyatt. Wyatt and Shelby will be there tomorrow night to bring you that contest. It should be a dandy. Good pitching change here, Brian.
Yes, pitching change. We had a straight switch. Hunter Gerald moves from third base to the pitcher's mound. Brandon Laudermilk from the pitcher's mound to third base. And for the Eagles, it'll be 3, 4, 5. Alex Collins, Caleb Abner, and Rowan Gilmore. Eastern looking to put 2 runs across here, Rick, and then they'd be able to finish this up in the bottom of the 6th. And, of course, the Tornadoes doing everything they can to try to get this one to go the distance.
Brian, tonight is the 14th. The Eagles don't play again unless they've scheduled till the 29th. They got a 2-week layover, so probably
right. You get that bye.
Scheduling some games, and they got the bye.
Yeah, when you're the 1 and 2 seed, the 1 and 2 seeds get those byes.
So I would almost be positive that Coach Stewart, with the rainouts we've had, probably will get another game in there somewhere. It'd be nice to have one each week if possible.
I would assume he's going to try.
Yeah.
1-0 the count to Alex Collins. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss.
I tell you, once you get into the season, you're playing all the games that these kids play, and all of a sudden you say, we're not playing for 2 weeks. That's like just about starting over. So I would not be surprised if Coach Stewart doesn't get maybe a couple games in there somewhere.
And
okay, it'll be Athens and Jackson.
1-1 count, fouled away. Now 1-2.
So Athens and Jackson will be on the venue for the Eastern Eagles during that time. Do we have any dates on that? Just okay. So the Eagles are going to put Jackson and Athens on the schedule. That's 2 good opponents right here to get them ready for tournament play, no doubt.
And here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. Alex Collins goes down swinging. First strikeout for Hunter Gerald.
And that was just a tremendous curveball with great location. And that would have been a tough pitch for anyone to hit.
That's the 8th strikeout for Southern pitching in the contest. First for Gerald.
Stay tuned for our Robin Fowler, your local State Farm agent, post-game show right after the conclusion.
Abner puts the bunt down. Barehanded play by Laudermilk and a nice throw.
And Brandon did a great job right there. If you glove that, Brian, you're not going to get the out. But he barehanded it, picked it up nicely, and got the 5-3 put out. Great job there by Brandon Laudermilk. And here's the hot hitting once again. Rowan Gilmore up with 2 hits in the ball game, 2 for 3.
Two quick outs for Gerald. And Gilmore is 2 for 3, a single, a double, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. First pitch low. Ball 1. And Gerald steadies himself. Here's the pitch. Strike.
Catches the inside part of the plate.
Evens the count at 1-1. Hunter Gerald, junior baseball player for the Tornadoes. Swing and a miss, and again, there's the curveball.
And that is a great pitch. The curveball, he takes a lot off the fastball, and Gilmore out ahead of that one.
1-2 the count. And here's the pitch. And belted into left field. That's going to drop in for a hit.
This young man continues to stay hot, and that is now 3 for 4 tonight. And every game that we've done, Rowan has hit the ball exceptionally well. And another great at bat there.
Now Brady Rockhold. Rockhold is 3 for 3 with 2 singles, a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Very solid night with the bat for Rockhold. Runner on first with 2 outs and bounces in. Nice play by Griffin Thomas behind the plate to keep that one in front of him. 1-0 the count to Rockhold. A little bit low. 2-0. So that was the curveball again. That time it broke just a little bit off the plate. Runner on first with 2 outs. Now 2-1. Excuse me, nope, that would be 3-0. 3-0 to Brady Rockhold. Hunter Needs on deck.
The coach's side just leave him on the base now, because every time he puts a fast runner on, he gets them out.
And here's the pitch, and off the plate. It's a 4-pitch walk.
That was the same pitch that you heard a little from the Southern fans over to our left.
Yeah.
And that was almost the identical location. And it was called low and a little inside.
That moves Gilmore to second base. Rockhold now on first. 4th walk for Southern pitching. First for Gerald, as the first pitch to Needs is a strike. Hunter Needs is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. 0-1 the count. And just missing. Evens the count at 1-1. Lane Atha on deck. Lance Hensler in the hole for the Eagles. 2 on, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Swing and a miss. A healthy cut on a high fastball.
And that one just a little bit out of the strike zone, but took a healthy cut at it.
Now 1-2. Popped up, and is this one going to drop in? And it is. And here comes Gilmore. He's going to come around to score. So an RBI single for Hunter Needs.
And now you've got the 10th run standing at second base in the form of Brady Rockhold. And that's Brady's 4th hit of the ball game?
Yeah, well, Brady walked Hunter Needs with the hit.
Okay, Hunter. Yeah,
he
okay.
had walked twice, so he's been on base 3 times,
Yeah.
Hunter Needs. And now Lane Atha, the batter, he is 1 for 3 with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored.
Yeah, Brady Rockhold with 3 hits.
Yeah, Brady Rockhold
Gilmore
with 3
with 3
hits and a walk,
Yeah.
yes, and Gilmore with 3 hits, yep. So the middle of the order has been very strong.
We have a substitute, number 20, Dawson King.
Okay, he's
pinch hitting.
the batter. Okay, so Dawson King batting for Lane Atha. And he's going to foul this one back.
Well, how was yours, Linda?
Okay, so this is number 20, Dawson King, batting for Lane Atha. Getting his first action of the contest. Rowan Gilmore scoring the 9th run.
Nice block there by Griffin Thomas. Ball in the dirt. Keeps Rockhold from advancing from second to third. Nice job there by Griff.
Yeah. Griffin Thomas working hard here in this inning. He's had a couple of them he's had to dig out.
Yeah, we don't talk about our catchers in our area enough, which would be Caleb Abner and Griff Thomas and Jake Martin and Meigs. Those guys take a beating sometimes back there. They do a tremendous job.
This pitch taken high, and the count now
and
2-1.
Cyrus Rickard, our other catcher at Wahama. These guys do a great job. A job that maybe no one else wants.
Ball taken low now, 3-1. Yeah, four very solid catchers, all things considered, amongst the 4 teams. 3-1 the count to Dawson King. 2 outs, runners on first and second. The game-ending run potentially on second base as this one's fouled off and the count runs full.
Well, we're chasing that one Saturday night, Meigs High School, 5 o'clock. The Bend area band, Southern, Eastern, Wahama, and Meigs, their bands are going to get together. We was talking to Chad last night, Coach. I'll call him Coach.
Band director Chad Dotson.
Yeah.
Ooh, taking low,
the bases loaded now.
The bases, yeah.
And the 4 schools bands are going to get together. They're going to play 5 songs. They've got, I think Chad said they've got a 8-hour practice scheduled for Friday. So that'll be at Meigs High School. They plan on rotating that each year. This was an idea of Tony Dingus many, many years ago, but they're making it happen this year, 5 o'clock at Meigs High School.
Pitch taken low to Lance Hensler.
This Saturday.
Bases loaded with 2 outs. Lance Hensler, the batter.
And it's free admission, no charge. And come and support your local band members. Should be pretty cool.
And it's high. It's ball 2. 2-0 now the count.
Now, this is a big situation for both teams here. Southern needs to get an out and extend this ball game. Eastern with a base hit and scores a run. Could be a 6-inning ball game.
Fouled off, 2-1. Well, a walk or a base hit here would bring that 10th run across.
Yeah, if Hensler gets on, then it'll be 10-0.
2-1 the count. And fouled back yet again. 2-2 the count. 2-2 the count to Lance Hensler. And here's a 2-2 pitch put into play. And it's going to be gloved, but no play.
Big infield hit.
And the 10th run will come
There
across.
It is. So Lance Hensler, an infield hit. And now it's 10-0. The Eagles right now just need 3 outs for the win.
So Lance Hensler with a single and an RBI. As Brady Rockhold scores the 10th run, a swing and a miss for Ethan Edwards. Ethan Edwards is 1 for 3 with a double, a walk, and a run scored. Ooh, strike 2 called. Nice pitch. 0-2 the count to Edwards. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Eastern leading 10-0. And this one popped up. And Gerald will make the catch. So pop out 1. And that'll end it. So for the Eagles, they score 3 hits. They leave 3 on base. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 10-0 Eagles over Tornadoes here on Total Media Sports YouTube.
This Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week is made possible by the generosity of the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, RE 2171. We thank them for their incredible support of local youth sports. You've been watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week live on Total Media Sports YouTube.
All righty, welcome back to Star Mill Park. Rick Ashlong, Brian Allen. We go into the bottom of the 6th inning. Eastern leads at 10-0. So, Brian, the Tornadoes need a play to run to keep this game going. If the Eagles can shut them out in this inning, they'll win this one by a score of 10-0.
And the Tornadoes will have 9-1-2 batting. Wyatt Smith, Zach Thomas, Carson Ryder, as you mentioned, trying to put a run across and keep this one going.
Ethan Edwards has gone the distance for the Eastern Eagles, winning pitch yesterday and 5 thus far today, and trying to end it in this inning right here if he can. Tornadoes have different ideas. They're going to try to get at least 1 run on to extend this ball game, and anything can happen. I saw the Eagles at the Paint Stadium one night, down 10 runs with 2 out, and came back and won that ball game. So it can happen.
Okay, here comes Wyatt Smith. Wyatt Smith 0 for 1, grounding out to the third baseman Alex Collins back in the 3rd inning. First pitch taken outside for ball 1. Ethan Edwards has been very efficient. A lot of quick outs, a lot of low pitch count innings, and second pitch.
Gonna check his swing, and he went.
Say yes. Okay, so 1-1 the count. Strike called on the check swing. That one bounces in, 2-1. Two and one the count. 10-0 Eagles leading the Tornadoes. And this one put into play, caught by the second baseman, so that's going to go.
Was
pop out 4.
right off the end of the bat. It appeared to be hit harder than it was.
It sounded good.
That's what happens when you hit off the end of the bat.
It sounded good off the bat, but as you mentioned, it just kind of died. And the second baseman, Aiden Wilhelm, able to pull it in. One out, and Zach Thomas, the batter, takes the first pitch outside for ball one.
As we are back to the top of the order, the lefty steps in.
Zach Thomas 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. And a strike called. And the count now 1-2. Put into play. Is this one going to drop in? And no, nice catch. Hunter Needs ranging over to make the play. So I thought that one was going to drop in between of Needs and Atha, but he was able to get over there. Was Needs the center fielder and make the catch, fly out 8, and the Tornadoes down to their last out, and that would be Carson Ryder, the batter. With Griffin Thomas on deck, should Ryder reach. First pitch outside, ball 1. And this one fouled away. 1-1 the count to Carson Ryder. And put into play. Edwards has it. He's going to take it over to first, and that'll do it. So the Tornadoes again go down in order. 1 unassisted.
All right, it's time for our post-game show brought to you by Robin Fowler, your local State Farm agent. Also bringing you ball game tonight was Home National Bank and the Fraternal Order of Eagles, Erie 2171 there in Pomeroy. Now, here we go for our post-game show brought to you by Robin Fowler. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And while Brian's doing some totals there, we'll talk about some things happening here in our area. Last night, Meigs girls defeated West Union by a score of 15-0. Right now, beyond the left field fence, Southern is taking on South Gallia, and Eastern is hosting Portsmouth Clay at Meigs High School because of the rain out in the Eastern School District direction here today. So here's the draw. Number 13, Piketon at Meigs on 5:20. If Meigs wins, they would go and play Lynchburg Clay, the number 1 seed, at 4 o'clock on 5:27 at Paint Stadium. Eastern Eagles, the number 1 seed, on 5:29, will play the winner of Adena and Belpre at South Point Baseball Facility. If they win that one, they would advance to the district championship game. That would be at Paint Stadium on 5:31. So Eastern's going to play, we don't know when, but they're going to play in the next 2 weeks. They're going to play Athens and Jackson, so they don't have such a huge gap there. The Southern Tornadoes on 5:22 will host the South Gallia Rebels. The winner of that ball game on 5:28 at 4:30 will go to Logan High School for a district semifinal game. And if they win that one on 5:31 to Paint Stadium. All district boys district championship games are being held at Paint Stadium, but the district semifinal games are at different venues. For the girls, if Southern and Eastern both win here tonight, they will have on Total Media Sports YouTube next Monday, 5/9, Eastern High School at 6 o'clock, and then on 5:20 on Tuesday, Southern High School at 6 o'clock. If both teams win, they'll advance to district championship play on 5:22. Eastern will play at 4 o'clock, and Southern will play at 6 o'clock. The Meigs girls, winners last night, as we said, 15-0 over West Union. They'll play Adena on 5/19. That's next Monday, 6 o'clock at Ohio University. All right, you're listening to the Robin Fowler postgame show. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. See Robin Fowler for all your insurance needs. And we'll take it back, looking at your hitters here for tonight in tonight's 10-0 win by the Eastern Eagles over the Southern Tornadoes. Here's Brian Allen.
All right, so we'll go down through the Eastern batters first, and just up and down the lineup, 9 batters, and actually 10 batters with the pinch hitter, Dawson King, and they all contributed. So Ethan Edwards ends up with a walk, a double, and a run scored. Aiden Wilhelm with a hit by pitch and a run. Alex Collins with a single and a stolen base. Caleb Abner scored a run. Rowan Gilmore with 2 singles, a double, 2 RBI. Brady Rockhold, 2 singles, a double, a walk, an RBI, and 3 runs scored. Hunter Needs with a single, 2 walks, a run, and an RBI. Lane Atha with a single, a run, and a stolen base. Dawson King with a walk. And finally, rounding out, hitting for the Eagles, Lance Hensler with a single, a double, and 4 RBI. Eastern all told had 11 hits in 6 innings of batting. On the other side for the Tornadoes, 2 base runners, Hunter Jarrell with a single, Anthony Hubry with a single, and Ethan Edwards on the mound for the Eagles, no walks. He gave up 2 hits, no walks, and a 6-inning shutout for Ethan Edwards. Brandon Laudermilt went 5 innings, giving up 8 runs, and Hunter Jarrell pitches 1 inning, giving up 2 runs. And so that'll do it. So Eastern just continues to roll right along as they head into tournament play here soon.
All right, you're watching the Bend Area Game of the Week here on Total Media Sports YouTube. And with thanks to the Fraternal Order of Eagles Area 2171, the Home National Bank, and our sponsor for our post game here tonight, Robin Fowler. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So give Robin a call for all your insurance needs. That'll do it for our broadcast tonight from Star Mill Park. Tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, Southern Girls at Meigs Girls here on Total Media Sports YouTube. That one should be a dandy. You don't want to miss that one. So that'll do it for our broadcast here tonight. We want to thank our infield camera operator, Shelby White, Wyatt Martin, our video operator here tonight, our engineer. In the tent here tonight with me is my board operator for our radio games, George Falble. For Brian Allen, I'm Rick Ash. God bless you and have a great tomorrow.
Thanks for watching the Meigs County Baseball Game of the Week live on Total Media Sports